Father, we give you our praise, all this name, our worship, everything. Amen.
We are the sons of Yah, headquartered out of Gaston, Alabama. We come out to teach our people who we are according to the Bible. We have various people and organizations and groups that do this exact same thing. But we came out here to bring some more teaching that most people are probably already familiar with. But we are the sons of Yah. We realize that we are the biblical Israelites according to genealogy, archaeology, and most of all according to the Bible. Most people have said, why is the black man in the condition we in? Why is the Hispanic, Native American? Why are we in the condition that we in? The reason why is because we broke his commandments. We went away from keeping the laws, statutes, and the commandments. Give me Zephaniah 2 and verse 1. We went away from the commandments. So the Most High, we keep wondering, what is it that I need to do to get my life on track? What is it that I need to do to change my depression, my anxiety, the way I think, the way I feel? The best way to do that is we have to gather back together and keep his commandments. Give me Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. We have to keep his commandments. Watch this. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. We got specific instructions. Watch this. Let's read.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together. O nation not desire. O nation not desire.
So the Bible says, gather together, O nation not desire. We don't have to be rocket scientists to figure that out. What is the lowest nation on the planet Earth? The so-called black man, Hispanic, and Native American. We are the ones at the bottom. Read that one more time.
Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together. O nation not desire.
We are the least nation desire. You already saw how they treated us in slavery in many other situations. Give us 5 minutes of your time. If you got 5 minutes, come here and we talk about just 5 minutes. You might realize something totally different in the Bible about yourself. Give me Jeremiah 14 verse 2. Give me Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. Because we have to bring these things out. Just give us 5 minutes of your time, brother. Because we might just prove something biblically to you. Now you give me 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Give me that. Prove all things. So, what's going on, brother? What's your name? I'm Justin. Yada. What's your name? Jude Crew. So let me ask you this. You want to deal with the camp? I'll let you go for it. Alright, so Jude, you see yourself on that sign right there? Like, what would the world call you?
On this side.
On this side of the sign.
What the world call me.
Yeah. Okay, you filled out a job application. What check would you check off? Okay, Judah. Well, the world calls us American black, but Judah is what God called us. So you know who else was from the tribe of Judah? Who they call Jesus. You know what color he is according to the Bible? He black, okay. So the question would be, is we saying you from the tribe of Judah and only 12 tribes, them God chosen people. And in church we have God love everybody equally, right? So let me get Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Hey, hold on, let me get 1 verse 1 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of the Jordan in the wilderness.
So God gave the commandments to the 12 tribes of Israel. He never told the world that y'all got to keep my commandments. He only told the people on the sign. So now in this same chapter, let's see what God finna tell Moses to tell them people again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
You know what holy means? Holy means simple.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So that contradicts what church say, right? Because God said, hey, we chosen and we special above everybody on the face of the earth. So that kind of made me wonder, like, man, why they go to the hoods and get the best basketball player? Why they go to the third world country and get the best baseball player? Why we take over everything we do? Because we special people. I'm a diamond in the dirt, right? A diamond in the rough. Well, think about it. Nobody cook better than us, fight better than us, look better. We got the best with the women, strongest brothers, right? Alright, so the point would be, how could we choose that, prove that we these people, right? Alright, so let me get Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Because if we very special, how we end up in this predicament? Like in the projects, as slaves, right? Let's see why. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So don't it seem like we curse people? So now God said, this gonna happen if y'all don't listen. If y'all don't keep my commandments, y'all gonna be some cursed people, right? So now, these curses what we finna read, they in this book for a reason. Let me get Deuteronomy 28, verse 46. Before we even read the curses, this is what they for. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses we finna read gonna be on us, on his people for a sign, for a wonder, and on their children forever. So how we know this a sign? We see the sign, right? So now God gonna say, how you gonna know my people? We finna read the curses on them. So let's jump back to 16. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now no matter what country, state, city you go to, who cursed in every city you go to? Now think about it, we never seen a project full of Chinese people, or white people, or Arab people. It's always the black Mexicans and the Indians who cursed in every city, gangbangers, right? So stand on the corners, right? But he said not only cursed in the city, but where? And cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed in the sugarcane field, the cotton field, the work field. First eye, last eye, right? Alright, so verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest out, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest in. So when we born, we was going to be cursed. Now think about it, who's born when they cursed? The father might be like, that's a pretty baby, but he ain't got no, the father ain't even let us see him be born. He probably going to the project. He got milk in his system. But he said not only curse when you born, but when you die. Who died when we curse? Like we die as a cursed people, right? Like for example, I say, hey, little Javon died. First question the Jews gonna ask me, how? Because we die in so many ways. Did he get stabbed? Did he get shot? Did he raped? Did he get stabbed in prison? Right? Diabetes, AIDS? Wow. But he said, curse shall you be when you die. So we ain't gonna read all these curses because we know you got something to do, King. But we finna get to the point. Give me verse 28. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So our people walking around talking to themselves. But you gotta think about it, when they talking to themselves, they ain't even smiling. They always talking about something bad, man, like they cussing, walking by themselves, they cussing. So the Lord, he gonna smite his people with madness and blindness, which means that he ain't gonna know why you're in this predicament. Alright, so let me get verse 29. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So he said, not only that, my people, y'all gonna grope in the noonday. Like at a pretty time like this, think about it, you know somebody in the house right now, like a little kid holding their own, like, damn, I can't do this. Damn, I need to do this. I want to do this. But he said his people gonna do that, but you're not gonna prosper in your ways. So think about us black people. We ain't got our own hospitals and banks and schools, right? So he said we gonna only be oppressed and spoiled evermore. Now who always has to be oppressed? Us, right? Alright. Let me get verse 32. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Look it out. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and bear with hunger for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Now who children was given it to another people? Slavery, right? And even this day, they might tell the mama, oh, you ain't got enough bedrooms in this house for this kid. We take it. So it applies to this day, right? Alright, verse, let me get verse 36. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. So, we had our own kings to set over us at one time, but God said, I'm going to bring a nation that y'all not know. So when they talk about that in history, who was the nation that we never seen at one point in time? Yeah, like when we seen them for the first time, like, damn, we never seen nobody look like them. Oh, the Caucasian people. Like when the Indians seen Christopher Light, like, hey, we ain't never seen nobody look like that. And when they came to Africa, we ain't never seen an English man look like that. But he said, not only that, you was going to serve other gods, wood and stone. So think about this. Our people serve, what's in the church today that's wood? That cross. And you think about it, when we was a child, that cross was the same cross burning in our yard from the KKK. It's the same cross in church today. So he said, not only that, you're going to worship stone. So if our people say, hey, I ain't no Christian, what are they going to say? I'm a Muslim. And if you're a Muslim, you're supposed to go to Mecca once a year and bow down to this stone. So, verse 37. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a proverb among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Astonishment, like, wow, look how they living. Look how they slacking. Look how they killing each other. Look how they selling goat, right? But he said a proverb. A proverb is a famous saying. Black people love chicken. On an elevator you can raise a family that a black man can't. Alright? But he said a proverb. We the only people that calling ourselves crayon colors, black African American. But you think about it, you never heard a European say, I'm European American. Or I'm a white European American. But we the only people putting them words on ourselves. Alright, so let me get verse 41. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. So we were still going to be fruitful in history, but we weren't going to be able to enjoy our kids, because they were going to be in slavery right with us. I know you all enough to know that Big Mama might be like, oh, slavery wasn't that bad, but I was still on the field with my grandma. With my mama, right? But that's the reason why black men run to the other women, because, like, for example, the other nations, they were born with a mom and a dad, so they know how to treat a man. But our people was stuck on the field, so they ain't got no mama for real. Like, they ain't never seen daddy put mama in order, so mama the one taught them how to be the whore or whatever, right? Alright, so verse 43. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So he said the stranger, which is another Israelite, which is the Arab man, the white man, the Chinese man, the East Indian man, the African people, the Hamite people. All those are strangers. They're not Israelites. But God told his people that y'all gonna come down low, they gonna come up high. So you think about it, who's prospering all around the world? They're strangers, right? If God said they won't come up high, we was going to come down low. So we the ones in the project. Verse 44. Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So these other nations were going to come up so high, they were going to own the banks and lend to us. and we clean to them, they was gonna be the people we need something for, and we gonna be the tail, which means we gonna get the last shit end of the stick, right? Alright, so verse 45, we about to the end, bro.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So these curses are going to be on us for a sign, for a wonder, and on our children forever, right? We just read that. Alright, verse 47.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
No, sir, you friend.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
You know, we were talking, well, we kind of think like, man, maybe these other nations picked out people like who look like us, and we're going to put them in slavery. We're going to put them, that ain't how it went. Who said that?
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So they ain't putting it in their own mind. The Lord put a spirit in them and said, hey, since my people don't want to serve me, I'm going to put this spirit in these other nations, and y'all going to serve them. What we going to serve them from?
In hunger.
So in food. Where we get our food from? Same people, right?
And in thirst.
What about something to drink?
And in nakedness.
What about our clothes?
And in want of all things.
And you name something in this world that you can get that you will have to go to your principal, a new car, new job, new house, right? So God said these enemies, we're going to serve them in want of all things. So according to the Bible, who would be the enemy? Them other nations, right? Alright. Verse 49.
The Lord shall put,
Hold on. 49 up at the end of 48.
and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So who was this in? Who had yokes of iron on their neck? That's right. Who did it? But God said enemies. Verse 49.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose tongue we can't understand. So how we learn English? We was enslaved under the Englishman. How the Mexicans learn Spanish? They was just slave under the Spanish people. How the Haitian people learned this bootleg and French? They was enslaved under. So everybody on this side had a language beat into them. Verse 50.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
That's why if you look at this post over there, you got kids on the field right here. Got old people on there, getting raped, robbed, and murdered, right? So this nation that he was saying, they were gonna care if you was young or old. Alright, so now I know Jews out of all your life, boy, you done lost a lot of friends, especially to black on black violence, right? Check this out. Let's see why that happened to us. Verse 54.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
So Moses telling the children of Israel, you see how y'all in unity now? But if y'all don't keep God's commandments, y'all gonna have an evil eye towards each other. So think about it, we killing each other over colors, over streets, over projects that ain't ours, right? We didn't stop the black on black crime. And you don't hear about Chinese on Chinese, Arab on Arab. It's just black on black crime and Mexican on Mexican, right?
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Oh, I can't stand my baby mama.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
I don't believe in their children. See how these curses, like, this book was written so long ago, how could they fit us today? Alright, so we back to the end. Let me get verse Let me get 64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Unless I'm going to scatter y'all amongst all people, which means some of y'all going to be living in captivity under China and India and Russia. Like, my people going to be everywhere, but y'all going to serve other gods. And he said the wood and stone again. And this Christianity was beating us. Muslims beating us. Every religion you can think of. Verse 65.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
Because some people think, man, I can leave America and get better. But if you go to China, they still gonna treat you like a nigga. Still gonna work. Still a nigga to them, right?
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
Now who's fearing day and night? Like not having assurance of their life. Like getting the Christ. Oh, the switchboard ain't out there. I ain't shouldn't heard it all right. Yeah, we don't know if we're going to make it, try to stay out of the way, right? So here go the last curse of the Bible, King. How did we get to America?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So you might think, hold up, man, Egypt, we ain't in Egypt, eh? Right? But if you look on the back of your dollar, what's on the back of it? A pyramid, right? So the Lord said, I'm going to bring y'all back into Egypt again with ships. So what you think Egypt means?
Exodus 20 and 2.
Give me Exodus 13 and 3. Remember, the children of Israel was in slavery in Egypt under Pharaoh.
The book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt was synonymous as the house of bondage. And another word for bondage is slavery. So we're going to jump back to this last verse in the Bible. See?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Slavery again with ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
When we got out of those ships, we were sold for bondmen and bondwomen, and the word bond Hebrew means for them. But who would we get sold to?
Sold unto your enemies.
Enemies. So once again, in the church, oh, God loves everybody. But in this book, we're saying these other nations are your enemies. I'm talking about any nation you can think about, because they don't love us, bro. So the question should be, all right, we God's chosen people. We see it according to the curses, right? Now, Lord, what you want from us? We realize we your people. Now what you want from us, right? You know, I'm looking for all that,
4 and 6.
no, 10 and 12.
Oh, 10 and 12.
Because, hey, this book gonna ask the question for you.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel,
Realize you're Israel, right? You're Israelite.
what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
So that's all Lord walking was down. When we realized we his people, that's to come back and keep our commandments. To think about it. If Daddy Rooster was messing up the house, what would stop you from getting with cleaning up the house, right? So the Lord said, hey, I whooped you for not keeping my commandment. So what make me start blessing you is by keeping them. So how many commandments is it according to the Bible? 12. Well, I heard 10 before in the church. But think about it, this is a big book, right? So you think the Lord told us, hey, it's only 12, 10 things that I can't do, and there's only a certain thing you can do. That don't sound right, do it? So it's 612 commandments in the Bible. Hey, I know that sounds kind of hard, but think about it. They divided. Some for the women, some for the children, some for the priests, some for the men. Like, it ain't hard. The proof, First John 5:3.
Bring it out.
As a church, they say, man, these commandments too hard. God did away with it. That's why Jesus came, right?
First John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So the only how you can love God, because you can't hug him, can't kiss him. God said the only how you can show you love me is by keeping my commandments. So think like he said they are not what?
Are not grievous.
Which means they not hard. Church say they too hard. But God just said they not grievous, which means it ain't hard for two cool not to sleep with nobody's wife. For two cool not to rob nobody. Like this thing ain't hard, right? So now, let me give you a couple of commandments. You know you probably got something to do. Give you a couple of